All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our smart contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. Now, today we're going to be wrapping up this immutables and constants module. So let's dive right into what we're going to be doing. So this is where we left off yesterday. This is what our updated example will look like as a whole. You see here we have owner, which is our store or state equals it's going to be public. It's going to have the keyword immutable. It's going to be a type address. Here's our deploy, which is going to be our constructor. You can see here define dunder init dunder. You can see here we're going to call on our variable or our state using the owner all capitalized equals message.sender. This is what we set it to the owner of the contract. And you notice that we're not using the self. We don't actually use this stuff when we're using the immutables and constants. So that's why you don't see the self dot. We just have owner here. The capitalization lets us know that we're calling on this state here, and this state isn't immutable. So let's add another example to this one. So you can see here, but underneath the owner, we have a val. It's going to be a public, immutable of type uint 256. And you can see here we added it to our constructor method. Val equals val. It gets the same respect as owner without the self dot. It's just going to be val capitalized all the way through, letting us know that we're going to be calling on this state here, which is immutable, and it's capitalized to let us know that we don't have to use the self. So let's move down and do something like reading. So here we've added an immutable called val, which will be a public uint 256. Then we will pass a number as input in our dunder init dunder or our constructor method parameter by passing in val of type uint 256, letting our constructor know that immutable val will be set to some number or value. Once we declare immutable, we forget to set it in somewhere inside the constructor, the contract will not compile. So if we set the value and we don't use it inside of the contract, it won't compile, obviously. So we set it, we have to use it. That's why we have value here and we have it in our constructor. To see why we need to do this, we can paste this example in our Remix IDE, but comment out the val equals value line where we declared the immutable val and see what happens when we try to compile the code. Obviously, you don't have to do that. Like I said, once we set it, we have to use it, and that's why we're using it inside of our constructor method. So we don't have to go over to our Remix IDE. We can just leave that step out. So, so in summary, immutables act like constants, and gas-wise, they are cheap to access like constants. Unlike constants, we'll be able to set the value of immutables when the contract is deployed inside the constructor. Basically, that's wrapped up the entire immutables and constants module. That was the end of it there. So we're going to be moving forward. And yeah, the next module we're going to be starting is the NAT spec and doc strings module, and we'll start that tomorrow. But of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, this is the Python Poppy. You guys stay Gucci.